No mai, haere mai, welcome along to the 2024 Apollo Projects New Zealand Swimming Championships, doubling as the Olympic trials for Paris. It's going to be 5 days of exciting racing, and we kick off this morning with a pretty short heat session. And joining me in commentary this week, 2012 Olympian Steve Kent. Great to have you with me again.
Yeah, kia ora, Scott. Kia ora, everybody. Great to be here in the Hawke's Bay and use this fantastic facility this week. And really looking forward to the racing.
Yeah, this pool's proved very, very fast. But this morning's heats, not too many here. We've got a couple of straight finals with the women's 1500 metre freestyle and men's 800 metre freestyle being swum tonight. But kicking off this morning with the 400 metres individual medley for men. Just 7 in that heat this morning, Steve, was Sam Brown from Coast in the lane 4 position.
Yeah, Sam's been doing that 400 AM for a couple of years now, so looking to take that national title tonight.
And his lifetime best last year at the Wellington Champs at 4:21, so we've got a 4:20 in the converted time there. Then we get into some multi-classification events where we, for the first time, pulled together the Paris swimmers as well as some of the multi-classification swimmers, S15 to S19, swimming together for the first time. The 400 metres individual medley for women is on this morning with 2 heats of that race, and then we finish off with the 100 backstroke men and women for the multi-classification. So without further ado, we'll be back after this break to introduce our technical officials.
Apollo Projects is New Zealand's trusted specialist for the design and construction of sports, aquatics and education centres, and is proud to be the principal sponsor of Swimming New Zealand.
Session 1 of 10 this morning, the first heat session. We now ask you to put your hands together and welcome our technical officials as they make their way onto pool deck. Introducing our referees for this morning's heat session. For the men's, Greg Forsyth. For the women's, Christine Casson. Starters for this morning's heats, Joe Russell for the men. And Alan Hale for the women. The technical director for these championships is Carlreen Gillespie. Thank you, officials. Please be seated. And the first event on the program this morning, event number 1, the men's 400 metres individual medley. There is just 1 heat in this event.
In lane 1, we have Ian Chen, St. Paul Swimming Club. Lane 2, Alex Willis, Icebreaker Aquatics. Lane 3, Ariel Machurahondo, Swim Rotorua. Lane 4, Sam Brown, Coast Swimming Club. Lane 5, Blair Helms, North Shore Swimming Club. Lane 6, Curtis Melsop, Ngātai Tuatia Aotararika Swimming. Lane 7, Liam Rees, Alexandra Swimming Club.
Blair Helms takes them through the first 50 in this first event of the Apollo Project's New Zealand Swimming Championships. And Steve, this is the same 7 swimmers that will swim this evening's final, unless they have a mishap with one of their turns, but perhaps a bit of a hit out this morning for some of these swimmers wanting to see their form, see how they're feeling.
Yeah, just seen Sam Brown come through on that first 100 in a minute 0.5. I'll be figuring out their pacing this morning so that tonight they'll be looking to push themselves for those personal best times.
Sam Brown, 3rd in this event last year. Blair Helms, 4th. Lewis Clarebird, of course, missing from his favourite event, already having qualified or reaching the qualifying standard in the World Championships. And Luan Grobbelaar, unfortunately, sitting this championship out. And now a pretty handy lead here for Sam Brown, Ariel Machurahondo, the 15-year-old from Swim Rotorua, just on his feet.
Yeah, Sam's been working on his backstroke a little bit in this past season, so it's good to see him trying to build his rhythm here. They want to come into the wall nice and strong, so to really nail that flip turn and get into their breaststroke pull-out strong.
Through the halfway mark, Sam Brown comes out in the breaststroke leg. He's been through a number of injuries and a bit of illness in the last few years, and he's moved to Coast Swimming Club last year and had that successful tour to USA as well as part of the New Zealand development team, and really starting to see some great performances from Brown.
It's great to see young Ariel up there with these open age athletes. Obviously he'll be here next week probably for NAGS as well, so great to see him here as a part of the open event this week to push these I say older, Scott, a little bit older guys along in these heat swims.
And Blair Helms, the eldest in the field, 22 years old from North Shore Swimming Club. He continues to improve under the expert coaching of Graham Hill at North Shore Swimming Club. And he did his best time late last year, 4:26.07 at the Northern Arena Invitational. Sam Brown turns for home with 100 freestyle to go. Ariel Machurahondo holding on to 3rd and a wee way back to 4th, 5th, 6th at the moment.
Nice strong swim here by Sam through these morning heats. Looks like he's going to be a little bit off his PB, but that'll set him up well for tonight. Good to see that rhythm straight into the freestyle, get the kick going, get the build happening through so that then you can be aggressive towards that final 50.
Looking at some of the splits of Sam Brown's fastest 400 IM, fantastic to see his final 50 freestyle really a lot faster than his second to last one. So he's obviously enjoys the hype from the crowd, bringing him home strongly. But this is a solid heat swim here for Sam Brown. And definitely more gas in the tank tonight for Brown. Blair Helms comfortably coming in for 2nd. And Ariel Machurahondo, who with an entry time of 4:35 wasn't too far off that. And it is Curtis Melsop who touches 4th. 5th was Alex Willis. And exciting to see the championships underway for the week. Ian Chen finishes 7th there. Next up, event 101, the women's 100-metre breaststroke multi-classification.
In lane 4, from Whakatane Swimming Club, Chloe Goldwyn. Lane 5, Riley Sayer, Matamata Swim Club.
So Chloe Gladwin from Whakatane, pretty new onto the national event racing scene, but a very solid swimmer. She holds 16 national records across open and age group categories, coached by Mason Pickering. And she had one of her first debuts at a national meet at the New Zealand short course last year at this pool. And Riley Sayer in lane 5, who's had a big journey over the last 12 months. Diagnosed with aggressive bone cancer in October last year and now provisionally classed as S8. And barely out of chemotherapy. What a absolute hero, Riley Sayer. An amputee of the right arm, and we will all remember Riley racing here at the New Zealand short course last year, now an S8, and wanted to get back into the sport she loves.
141 there from Chloe, just off her entry time of 140.5, so tonight I'm sure she'll be looking to push that and look for that another personal best. So good job this morning, Chloe.
And that is heat 101. And great job from our multi-classification swimmers in the 100 breaststroke there. Next up is the men's equivalent, event 102, the 100-metre breaststroke multi-classification.
In lane 1, Joseph Blake, Hamilton Aquatics. Lane 2, Joel Watkins, Pukekohe Swimming Club. Lane 3, Joshua Wilmer, Pukekohe Swimming Club. Lane 4, Ian Chen, St. Paul Swimming Club. Lane 5, Asher Smith Franklin, North Shore Swimming Club. Lane 6, James Hayden, Club 37. Lane 7, Devon Xavier, Club 37.
Quite a number of different athletes in this heat, including the Commonwealth Games gold medalist Joshua Wilmer, one of the favourites for Paralympic selection. His lifetime best of a 1:13.40, which the selectors will want to see a time of about a 1:14.84 this morning from Joshua Wilmer. And this is Asher Smith Franklin in the SB14 class, stroke for stroke.
Good to see some really good battle here already in the heats this morning from these multi-class athletes. Nice strong finish from Asher Smith Franklin there.
1:13.20. And a New Zealand Open record for the SB14 class for Asher Smith Franklin. Well done. And Joshua Wilmer just outside that 1:14.8 qualifying mark. They've done the times already. It's about trying to check in where they're at. That's some good form there from Joshua Wilmer. And in comes Joseph Blake, lane 1, a 1:54.25.
Good to see some good racing already in the heats this morning, Scott. Good to see these guys. They'll be side by side tonight probably, so that'll be good for both of them to push them to go faster.
Absolutely, it will be. It's going to be an exciting final session. Next up is event number 3, the women's 400 metres individual medley, and this is heat 1 of 2.
In lane 2, Scout Carter, Icebreaker Aquatics. Lane 3, Jamie Fisher, Enterprise Swim Team. Lane 4, Charlie Twos, Coast Swimming Club. Lane 5, Maya Adams, Raumati Swimming Club. Lane 6, Violet Carter, Icebreaker Aquatics.
So 5 swimmers across this first heat and another 5 in the second heat. 2 will be dropped for the final tonight, the fastest 8. So be interesting the tactics this morning, Steve, in terms of, like we talked about it with the men's event. This is a long, challenging event. It can really tax these swimmers. What do you think their thought process is this morning with these heats?
I think it's finding their rhythm this morning, Scott. So first one of the meet, a little bit of nerves in terms of this morning. First up, maybe for their club swimming. So it's about finding their own rhythm. Hopefully they've had a good warm-up. Obviously they've been focusing towards this event for a while. So just getting out there, set up in the 100 fly, that first leg, you know, being relaxed, being smooth, and then really trying to get those legs working in the backstroke.
Well, at the moment, it is Charlie Twos and Maya Adams, both 19 years of age, both with very similar entry times, just over 5 minutes. And the veteran in the field, Jamie Fisher, the 26-year-old from Enterprise.
Little sister battle going on the outside lanes from Icebreaker with Scout and Violet Carter. Sure, that'll be some good sibling rivalry in this event for this morning.
Yeah, 2 years separating them too. Big sis won't want to be caught out by younger sis too much. And Charlie 2's just cruising through this backstroke leg, opening up a half body length lead over Maya Adams. New Zealand record held in this event by Helen Norfolk, now Helen Leslie, 4:39.07. That's been held since 2008, a good 16-year-old New Zealand record.
Looks like Maya's got a nice, really strong breaststroke leg here. Really trying to tuck that head in, get into that glide position. Make sure that that leg power is used the whole way through her stroke. So that's some nice looking breaststroke there from Maya.
Yeah, the lead changing a little bit here across the strokes. Charlie 2's will not want to let her get too far in front, but it all comes down to the tactics this morning. She knows she has to just get in that top 8 for the final. And sometimes perhaps you could find an outside lane that might be a useful position to be in for the final.
It's always that little bit challenging when you know there's not that many through to the final. How hard do you push? Are you trying to save some for the night swim? In New Zealand, I always find that the best thing is to actually push your heat, see where you're at, and then find those smaller details to work on at the night. As if you ever go on to the international scene, there's no taking it easy in the heats. Our swimmers need to keep practicing swimming their best in the mornings and then backing it up and swimming faster at night, Scott.
Yeah, good point. And that lead now for Maya Adams has opened up to a good 5 or 6 metres now over Charlie 2's. And then starting to emerge in lane 2, that's Scout Carter, the 16-year-old. Very comfortable swim here out the front by Maya Adams. Training on the Kapiti coast.
Setting herself up well for tonight's final. Give herself a nice, good lane. And then when that real race comes for the final.
5:13, so wee way off PBs here. But getting the job done this morning, heat number 1.
Scout Carter with a good PB there of 6 seconds, Scott, for third in that heat. So that'll give her probably a definite spot in tonight's final. So that's a really good swim there by Scout. Well done. Next up, heat 2, the women's 400 individual medley. Lane 2, Amelie Austin, St. Paul Swimming Club. Lane 3, Aurelia Riley, Hamilton Aquatics. Lane 4, Zylika Pratt-Smith, Coast Swimming Club. Lane 5, Amelia Feiner, Neptune Swim Club. Lane 6, Breeze Van Vilthuizen, Heretatonga Sun Devils.
Zylika Pratt-Smith leads them through the first 50 of this 400 IM. The IM and breaststroke specialist. She was the New Zealand champion over 200 metres and 100 metres breaststroke at the New Zealand short course last year. And speaking to her a few weeks ago, she was feeling good, looking forward to these championships, and entered with the fastest time of the event of a 4:55.31, the 20-year-old from Coast Swimming Club.
Strong start there by Zylika in lane 4. She'll be looking to push through in her backstroke and breaststroke. Obviously, that's probably more her pedigree here, so she'll be looking to build her rhythm in this backstroke, get the shoulders rolling, make sure her hips stay nice and high, and then I'm sure she'll be quite aggressive in the breaststroke, Scott.
Amelia Feiner sitting on her outside in 5 from Neptune. She's been down in Neptune for a couple of years now and getting some really good gains. That great program down there, Swim Otago. And obviously has some fantastic swim mates to push her along. Breeze Van Velthuizen in lane 6 from the local Heretatonga Sun Devils, swimming at this magnificent Hawke's Bay Regional Aquatic Centre day by day. It must be doing a world of good for the swimmers down here in the bay.
As we saw in the first heat, it'll be interesting to see where it changes now as we head into that breaststroke leg. If that's sort of more your main stroke event, that's really can break the field. Looked like Zai really tried to pick it up into that wall just to really make sure she nailed that turn. And a nice strong pull out.
We saw what Maya Adams did in heat number 1, really gained probably 3 or 4 body lengths in the breaststroke leg. And Zylika, being a 200 breaststroker, she'll be in her element here in this 100 metre breaststroke in the middle of this 400 IM. And over there in lane 3, this is Ariella Riley from Hamilton Aquatics, just 15 years of age. The youngest in the field. Amelie Austin in lane 2 from St Paul's in Hamilton. And Zylika with a 42.1 down that 50 metre breaststroke. And submerging right under the water with her glide. Trying to make the very best of that strong kick she has behind her. Zylika Pratt-Smith coming in with 100 metres to swim here in heat number 2 of the 400 metres individual medley for women.
Through in a 1:15 there for that 100 metre breaststroke. Sure, she'll be working on those splits again with their coaches after the heat swim of where those improvements can be tonight. In second place, still Amelia Feiner from Neptune. Pedigree of a freestyle club, obviously down in Neptune at the moment with all their athletes.
Yeah, so she certainly favours that. Certainly favours that distance freestyle, Amelia Feiner. So she'll look to try and gain some of those yards back in this final 100. And see Amelia sitting in second, but back to Zylika. Coming through to comfortably win heat number 2. And she will go through to be first qualifier in the final tonight, 5:02.32. And it was Amelia Finer's second, third to the wall, lane 3, Ariella Riley. And Amelie Austin finishing the second heat and the 400 metres individual medley for women. And we'll be back after this break for event 105, the 100 backstroke men multi-classification. Welcome back to the Apollo Projects New Zealand Swimming Championships live from the Hawke's Bay Regional Aquatic Centre. This is session 1 of 10. The heats this morning, we move to event 105, the 100 backstroke for men multi-classification.
Lane 2, Joel Watkins, Pukekohe Swimming Club. Lane 3, James Hayden, Club 37. Lane 4, Jesse Reynolds, Hamilton Aquatics. Lane 5, David Beck, Club 37. Lane 6, Devon Xavier, Club 37. Lane 7, Guy Harrison, Hiratonga Sun Devils.
Jesse Reynolds, the 100 metre backstroke specialist, Aqua Black 262. And his career highlight was the silver at the 2022 Birmingham Commonwealth Games. Lifetime best of 103.65. The qualifying time for the Paralympic Games, 106.3. And he is storming home. Really a big hit out this morning, Steve, in the heats.
Really good rhythm into the wall here by Jesse. He really wants to make sure he gets that time this morning.
A 105.51. Well done to Jesse Reynolds. Well underneath that Paralympic qualifying mark. And a bit of a gentle pump of the fist there to indicate he's pretty happy with that performance too. David Beck gets home second, 111.69. And a good swim from Joel Watkins. 114.62 there with one of the only, and Guy Harrison. Guy Harrison, the local here from Hawke's Bay, doing a good time this morning. So showing great form, Jesse Reynolds, encouraging for the final tonight, the rest of the championships for him. Next up is event 106, the 100 backstroke for women, multi-classification.
Lane 2, Melissa Donahue, Hamilton Aquatics. Lane 3, Tupou Nuifi, Pukekohe Swimming Club. Lane 4, Lily Fox Mason, Wharanui Swimming Club. Lane 5, Alabine, Selwyn Swim Club. Lane 6, Chloe Goldwyn, Whakatane Swimming Club.
Pretty even down the first 50. Beautiful start by Tupou Nuifi, who's will certainly be one of the 3 women to be considered for the Paralympics, and the selectors looking at form at these championships. But it is Lily Fox Mason that turns first in lane 4, and many of these swimmers, in fact all of them, in a completely different classification here, with S18, S8 for Tupou Nuifi, S10 Lily Fox Mason, S9 for Alabine and Chloe Gladwell, and S19, each racing within their own classification. And a strong swim for Lily Fox Mason, and that is underneath her entry time, likely a PB. And she is Aqua Black 273.
Chloe Goldwyn there with a personal best this morning as well, Scott. So good to see her backing up after the 100 breaststroke as well, and getting in her second event already this championship. So some really good swimming this morning there by Chloe.
And Melissa Donahue coming in lane 2. She holds 11 national records in her classification, and she comes in with a 2:03, and that concludes event 106 and the final heat of this morning's heat session. And we thank our technical officials for their time and attention this morning. We'll be back after this short break to wrap up some of the action from this morning's heats.
Apollo Projects is New Zealand's trusted specialist for the design and construction of sports, aquatics and education centres, and is proud to be the principal sponsor of Swimming New Zealand. .123.30 for Chloe Gladwyn. Tupou Nuifi just outside of that qualifying mark for the Paralympics, but she's done some times earlier in the year in 2023. Should see her carefully considered for the Paralympics as well. And wrapping up this morning, Steve, it was short, but it was all important to see who was going to make it through the 400 metres individual medley. Obviously, there we'll see the same 7 come through to the final tonight. We'll see the multi-classification events come through for their finals, but this evening, the 1500 metre freestyle final for the women.
Yeah, that'll be a really good race tonight between Eben Thomas and Caitlin Dean. So backing up from their Doha swims there to do it on home soil and go for those Olympic times tonight.
We'll see the top 8 in the 400 metres individual medley for women, followed by the finals for the multi-classification, and then we finish with the men's 800 metres freestyle. And we were talking this morning, very unfortunately, Louis Clark out after an injury a couple of weeks ago, so it'll be the Coast boys battling it out.
Yeah, it'll be good to see the young guys, teammates, probably mates out of the water and in, so it'll be good to see them really push each other to see if they can get some personal bests and go for that national title.
We hope you enjoyed the action. We'll be back tonight with session number 2, the first final session here at the Apollo Projects New Zealand Swimming Championships.